Toast to the chef.
Discover the secrets of family food favorites.
The pasta must be not too much cooked.
And find out where they come
That's
from.
my favorite dish.
Join us for travel, history, heritage,
And as children, we learn about our culture through food.
and more. Follow Emma, Sadie, and their dad on a food adventure to the old country,
We're in France.
where they discover new treats, trace their family roots, and share some surprises with friends back home.
Why do you want to eat something that stinks?
I like French cheese. I never realized it, but I like it.
Tune in to Our Family, Our Food for a celebration of America's diversity, heritage, family, food, and fun.
Are they good for you?
They call America the melting pot because we are a blend of people from all over the world. Not only are the people in our country a mixture, so is our food. From apple strudel to ziti, it's no wonder they call America the melting pot. There are so many different types of food to eat. And as children, we learn about our culture through food. My dad's a great cook. He's from another country, and we've been visiting there since I was a kid. One of my favorite things about these visits is finding out where all of his fabulous recipes come from. Here's some snapshots of our travels. Can you guess where we went? This one's of me when I was 11, and my mom made a movie that year too.
Hi, my name's Sadie, and this is the Eiffel Tower. That means we're in France.
Paris, France to be exact. Filled with great food, romantic rooftops, more great food, history, and let's not forget fashion. Did you know that the city of Paris is designed in a spiral like a snail shell?
I came to France with my family because my dad's French and his family lives here. Say hi, Papa.
Bonjour.
And this is my sister Emma. She's 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 means 5.
And now you're gonna see our trip to France. It all starts with climbing a few stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Not as tall as the Empire State Building, but almost as many steps. They say that the amount of steel in the Eiffel Tower, if laid end to end, would circle the Earth twice.
1617, almost there.
On a clear day, you could see for 42 miles. From sidewalk cafes to gourmet restaurants, Paris is filled with great food. Each neighborhood has a farmer's market. At this market, the stalls are teeming with fresh produce, breads, cheeses, cured meat, and, phew, lots of freshly caught fish. In this exotic bazaar, you never know exactly who you'll come face to face with. Not exactly what we're used to in the grocery stores back home. Hey, did you know that the Eiffel Tower stood as the world's tallest building for 45 years? Until the Empire State Building was built in 1934.
49, 1,650.
Back then, a lot of French people thought it was ugly and wanted to tear it down. Now there are about 6 million visitors a year. I guess they've learned to love it. Down below, we visit Luxembourg Gardens in a very ritzy part of town. Here, even the birds eat gourmet style. After it was built, French Emperor Napoleon Bonaparte decreed that the Luxembourg Gardens should be dedicated to children. So, it's filled with amusements, like these hungry ducklings. And
with your stick, you push it there.
Okay. Here it goes. Come on.
a fleet of colorful sailboats.
Mom, can I get a crab? Sure. Yeah, me too.
And when you're hungry for a snack, crepes.
Get that. I want to get a chocolate crepe. Nutella. S'il vous plaît.
Un cornetto? Non, c'est bon. Cornet comme ça.
I'm getting this.
Crepes are like French pancakes, only they're bigger and thinner. And you fold them or roll them.
Tiens, vous venez là-bas?
There's not a lot of fast food in France. These crepes are made to order.
Voilà, messieurs.
Are they going to cook it? They're ready then.
In France, they stuff crepes with ham, cheese, and chicken.
That's mine, Emma. And chocolate.
But this little stand makes the yummy sweet kind. So delicious.
I like mine better than Sadie's. I like mine.
Now that we've discovered crepes, Emma has a worrisome thought.
But we can't have those at home, right? Why not? How'd you make it? With Nutella. What's Nutella?
Nutella is a sweet chocolate hazelnut spread. You can find it in most grocery stores. Even now, 4 years later, I still love crepes. So when we can't go to France to our favorite crepe stand in Luxembourg Gardens, we just ask my dad to make them for us at home.
First, we are going to start with our dry ingredients. 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, which we're going to put in a sifter.
Hang on a minute. Some people have a hard time understanding my dad's French accent. So while he teaches me how to make crepes, I'll help with the translation.
Half a cup, level your cups.
Sift together 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour
Then,
and 1/2 cup of buckwheat flour.
good. Yeah, because it makes the batter lighter and it gives a good flavor too. Let's not forget the salt.
How much salt do you put?
2 pinches. 1,
That's 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
2. There we go. You should melt some butter.
Okay. Melt 2 tablespoons of butter in a saucepan on low heat.
Okay, yeah, not too high, because you don't want your butter to turn black. In the meantime, I'm going to break 2 eggs.
In case you couldn't tell he's French by the accent, you'd know it for sure if you saw our backyard. My dad has a flock of laying hens. You can taste the sunshine in these eggs, gathered daily from the nest. Thanks, girls.
Take a little well.
So, break 2 whole eggs into the sifted
2
flour.
eggs. 1, 2. Perfect. Okay.
When the butter is melted, pour it over the contents of the mixing bowl.
Very good. You're going to pour the water a little bit at a time.
That's 1 cup of
As I
cold
mix,
water.
Okay? Go. Okay. Then we're going to add 1 cup of milk after.
I don't think we need a whole cup.
Yeah, oh, it's supposed to be
Oh yeah, it's
the
great.
yeah, it's crepes. It's fairly liquid. It's like
I was thinking like pancakes.
it looks like light cream.
Ah, that's the secret to those thin crepes.
1 cup of milk.
This is a really light batter. Slowly like the
Slowly like the water.
Explain why it's
Okay.
taking so long for you to stir it.
Because you don't want to have any grumeaux. Grumeaux, you know, it's when the flour
Clumps.
clumps. Put everything. Thank you. Okay.
The batter is ready when it is smooth and lightly coats the spatula.
And now, take a break. He has to sit in the fridge for 2 hours. We are done with our butter.
While the batter rests, I give my dad a little English lesson.
Thicker.
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 Thicker. When we come back,
You use the stick to try to grab the ring.
more French food adventures from our video album.
Good? No.
And see how my papa flips. Crepes, that is. Welcome back.
Yay, got it!
When I was a kid, I loved seeing the sights of Paris.
You can see facing you the monument that's symbolizing Paris the best, the Eiffel Tower.
But my favorite spot was the little crepe stand in Luxembourg Gardens. So when it's time for a treat at home, my dad makes delicious crepes in our own kitchen.
Okay, the first crepe is for the pan.
We've mixed up the batter, and now it's ready to be poured into the pan.
Means it's never coming out nice. The batter is a little too thick. Because when it sits, it gets thicker. So you add a little bit more water. Like a tablespoon. And you mix it in. You can tell when they're ready by the color. And also, when you just put the butter in the pan, it sticks, right? And when it's cooked, it's going to move in your pan. Let's see if I lost my touch. That's a joke. I guess not, huh?
I like to prepare my crepes with a lot of sugar and strawberry jam. The ones we ate in France were folded, but I roll mine into a log.
They're good.
They're good?
Emma fills her crepe with Nutella. It's still a favorite.
Ooh, yeah! Oh! Let's see. Is it good, Zip? Ooh, yeah! Hey, I want to fight. I want to fight.
Too good to share. Papa's got to make his own.
Here's a crepe for the cook. Crêpe flambée. Little rum. To burn the alcohol. And sprinkle with a little sugar. And that's it. They're good.
My dog Jake loves crepes. People in France love to spoil their dogs. They bring them everywhere, even to restaurants. When we're in France, my sister and I like to play a game of counting how many dogs we see. You can play too by counting how many dogs you see in this show. Then go to our website to win cool stuff. Let's say Jake is number 1. Now, back to that trip 4 years ago. Here's doggy number 2. Are you counting? Leaving Paris for a long drive south, our dad promises us lots more delicious treats if we behave in the car. But sometimes, you just can't help but scream. We arrive in the south of France. They call it the Côte d'Azur. This beautiful village rises up on the mountains overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. The old streets in these towns were not made for cars, but they're great to explore on foot. Doggy. Make a wish in the fountain and it might come true. Especially if you wish to find a candy store.
Un sac pour les bonbons, s'il vous plaît, madame.
Parfait. Oh, ça c'est merveilleux. Et toi, ma chérie?
They call candy bonbons in France.
in one of those.
Okay. But it's pretty much the same as we get at home.
Huh?
40.
Just the money's different.
D'accord? OK.
Merci.
Très bien. Merci à toi.
I don't like it. I'll trade you this for that. Okay. Where should I put it?
Behind your ear.
Okay.
Back in the car. These mountain roads in France are super twisty. Ugh, maybe I shouldn't have eaten that whole bag of candy. Papa promises it's just a little further to one of his favorite mountain villages where he'll show us a medieval castle. No knights on white horses in this town. But we do get greeted by the village ambassador. Are you counting?
Look at this.
And like most French villages, a river runs through it. They have a trout farm and an old-fashioned water-powered mill.
This is wheat.
And a funny miller.
Hong Kong. It's Papa. Hong Kong.
Okay, here's the real miller, who explains to us how he turns the wheat into flour. These spinning balls make a sound, which tells the miller how fast the mill is turning. This old French folk song is about a miller who falls asleep and lets his mill go too fast and too strong.
Voilà la première farine
Voila, the flour.
pour faire le pain, les gâteaux, les crêpes.
They use a lot of flour in France. Bread is baked twice a day and bought fresh before each meal. It comes in all different shapes and sizes. The leftovers are made into soup for, you guessed it, our friend. Lunchtime!
Ever since I was a child, I have always loved dogs.
The countryside in France is beautiful, but on these long trips, it's great to bring along a book on tape. Keeps Papa awake, too. And before you know it, you're at the beach. This is the sparkling Mediterranean Sea. Forget to bring a snack?
Glace, poisson, café.
Papa, buy me ice cream.
Don't worry. In France, if you can't find food, the food will find you. From medieval times to the present, wheat has been the staff of life in this fertile country. Each part of France makes its special type of bread, but the most famous bread of all, the baguette, is found everywhere.
In America, they call it like French bread or whatever, but it's baguette.
It's so good. It's hard to wait to get it home.
I've eaten a lot of different kinds of baguettes in France, but my personal favorite is it has to be nice and crunchy on the outside, but on the inside nice and moist and mushy.
And I still love it that way. In France, you buy your bread at the bakery. And for dessert, you buy sweets at the pastry shop. They have a different store for everything. You might be surprised to know that they make pretty good pasta in France too, which we were treated to on a more recent visit. In a country where people buy bread twice a day, it figures that they would use a lot of flour. which comes from wheat. Fields of it if you drive through the middle of France. Wildflowers line the paths between the hedgerows that separate the fields. A beautiful bouquet to bring to our friend. This dog's name is Elbow. Not very French, but he does play soccer, the national sport. He's leading us on our walk. Here's another thing we don't have at home. Stinging nettles. Watch out. This beautiful old farmhouse belongs to some dear family friends. Elbow graciously announces our arrival to his master. Or, I guess he's really just asking him to come out and play. Alain knows what kids like, and each time we come to visit, we go crazy for spaghetti carbonara, a dish which originated in the southern corner of France that used to be part of Italy. Alain is what they call in French a personnage. I call him a sketch, and a great host.
Hello, and welcome to France.
Alain is really famous in France. He's a retired TV journalist.
5, 4, 3.
So, we got him back on the screen.
Today I will show you how I make one of my favorite dishes, the spaghetti alla carbonara.
Only now, instead of breaking news, he's breaking eggs.
Spaghetti alla carbonara in the country of meat and French fries could seem strange. So first, a little point of history. In 1860, a man called Garibaldi, Italian but born in Nice, that's the French aspect, decided to help his country, Italy, to be free. With 1,000 friends, he started from Sicilia, going north, to Napoli, Rome, and eventually Milan. All these 1,000 people call themselves the Carbonari. Carbonari means the people who live in the forest, in the woods, and make charcoal. Each night, when they stop to rest and to feed themselves, they go to the next farms and ask for eggs, cream, bacon, and of course, spaghetti. And they feed themselves with all these products.
The Carbonari were not robbers or thieves. In fact, they offered a receipt to each farmer who gave them food.
And some years later, when Italy was free, all these farmers received money. They were paid for what they have done. So now it's time to go to the kitchen to see how we make the carbonara. So you remember all the ingredients: bacon, cream, eggs, and of course spaghetti. The first thing is the bacon. The bacon must be diced and smoked. It's very important. You will put them and make them warming very slowly, very gently. It must not burn. It will take time. You have to leave them at least 30 or 40 minutes. Second point, we have to cook the spaghetti. Never forget, at least 1 liter by 100 grams of spaghetti. And there is never too much water. For 4 people, you need at least 400 grams of spaghetti. And don't forget something very important. Before putting the water to boil, you add some olive oil. That's a little secret, but it's very efficient. I don't even know why, but I know it's not the same. When spaghetti is cooked in a water with olive oil, it's always better. You always have to keep an eye on your bacon, that it will not burn. But you know now it's just getting to sweet very gently. Let's say 10 more minutes, the water will be boiling, and the bacon will be perfect, and we can go to the other phase of the making of spaghetti alla carbonara.
Ah, the countryside of France.
j'argumente dans le rétro. Et puis mes bas sont nylon, te font pleurer comme un oignon.
Traveling around on a food tour here is great. But after hours and hours cooped up in the car, it's fun to unwind in comfortable surroundings. Lucky for us, our dear friend Alain is not only a wonderful host, he's also a great cook.
Now the water is boiling, so I will set the pasta in the water and add immediately some salt. Voila. If you have some, you use the sel of Guérande, which is a very famous salt in France. And the salt will help the boiling to start very fast, so the pasta will be better. 8 minutes, no more. That's very important. The pasta must be not too much cooked. I would say that in 35 seconds is good. Okay, let's go. We will see. And now it's ready. Okay. Good. Now we take the service plate, which has been warm in the oven. It's the best way to do it. And we put first the bacon, and now I will give you my secret. If you have no children, even if you have, they will not be so bad. You put a little piece of noilly, and it will add a taste of muscat to the whole, and that will be perfect. This is what you use to make dry martini, so it's very famous. Then we add the cream.
If you can't find creme fraiche in your grocery store, a cup of heavy cream does just as well.
Don't be shy with the cream. A very, very large cup is good. Just mix it a little bit. We put, of course, the pasta. Now we start to mix everything. And last but not least, the eggs.
Alain uses fresh eggs.
Only the yolk of the eggs.
From the farm down the road.
Let's say four eggs will be good.
Alternatively, you can mix the egg yolks with the cream and the bacon and heat it in a saucepan before adding it to the pasta.
Some people add the cheese in the serving dish. I don't do that. I let anyone at table add the cheese as he wants it in his own plate. And that is spaghetti à la carbonara in deep French, but why not?
And after days of eating steak and fries on the road, that's all there is here on the kids' menu. We are so happy to have Alain's great pasta.
Are they good for real?
Yum.
And when the serving bowl's empty, well, we share.
Toast to the chef.
Something else they eat in France. Snails! Huge ones. They're called escargots. I actually think they're delicious, but my sister Emma thinks these escargots better go.
On your marks. Get set. Go!
And fast.
That's good, son. Stanley seems to be checking out the place.
These are the famous escargot de Bourgogne, a protected species in France.
Est en deuxième position.
Because of their gourmet status, harvesting these snails is restricted to just a few weeks each year.
Sérieux, comme un pape, est en train d'avancer.
I wonder what the snail racing regulations are.
The finishing line. She's touching the finishing line.
With her eyeball. We got away.
When we come back, we'll spend a Sunday afternoon with the family, old world style. Our friend Alain made us sandwiches for the road on my favorite baguette. Why can't they just build a straight, wide road like a highway? Hello, anyone? My dad says that the people in this remote part of France called Périgord don't want a highway because that would make it too easy for the tourists to find it. This ancient city existed long before Christopher Columbus even had the idea of sailing to America. It was built in the Middle Ages, during the time of kings and queens. Périgord is proud of its history and very much attached to its traditions. These traditions include the secrets of some of the finest cuisine in France. In the marketplace of Périgueux, we rendezvous with my grandfather Bob and my aunt Hélène, who will escort us to the family chateau, which means castle. The Chateau de Bardical was built in the 16th century as a hunting lodge for some of our aristocratic ancestors. Barons and counts came here to play and relax. It is said that King Henry IV slept here. My aunt, Elizabeth de Lescaut, who now lives in this castle, knows I'm a slave to fashion. No, she's not showing me the latest from the Gautier collection. But it is haute couture.
18th century.
Only from another century.
The other 19th century. It was in another castle, not far from here. The castle was in the family.
These dresses have been passed down from generation to generation. Another tradition around here is the big Sunday dinner. In France, you could spend hours around the table, even longer in the preparation, which leaves plenty of time for Emma and her grandpa to bond over a common interest, art. Our grandfather is an artist, and as a special treat for Emma, he lets her share his drawing tools. And even though they don't speak the same language, he is able to give her a few pointers. Or is it the other way around? Remember I told you that King Henry IV stopped here? Since those days, a legendary recipe has been passed down, and now it is my turn to learn to make la poule au pot, chicken in the pot. Like the name says, it's a whole dinner cooked in one pot.
If I start crying, you gotta stop. Okay.
Stuffing, vegetables, chicken, and sauce. First, you have to prepare a stuffing for the chicken, like you do for a Thanksgiving turkey. So, peel and cut 1 large onion and 2 shallots into small pieces. You can use up your old bread for this stuffing. Put the onion and shallots in a frying pan with 2 tablespoons of light cooking oil. Let's not forget 2 cloves of garlic. In France, they put garlic in everything.
After that, we will put the bread in the
So
milk.
what's the bread and milk do to you? Is that in the stuffing?
Yes.
Okay, I got it. Warm 2 cups of milk in the saucepan.
With the hot milk,
Looking good.
some piece of bread.
The bread doesn't have to be old. Now, add 1 pound of ground pork, add 1 pound of ground veal to the frying pan.
Du porc et du veau.
Cook it thoroughly on medium-low heat.
Tu mets le pain et ensuite je mettrai le lait dedans.
You will need about 2 cups of bread chunks. Pour just enough warm milk to cover the bread.
Le lait doit juste couvrir le pain.
All the milk must be absorbed into the
Le
bread.
pain flotte dans le lait.
This mix will help the stuffing to hold together.
La farce ne tient pas et on ne peut pas la couper en tranches.
You will be able to slice the stuffing when it's cooked. Emma helps out too. We need 2 eggs.
You have to separate the...
Yes. You put the white here and the yellow here.
Separate the yolks from the egg whites. That's my favorite job. The egg yolk is added to the bread and milk. I guess my garlic wasn't chopped fine enough for Aunt Helene's taste.
Should I stir in the egg yolks?
Oh yes, you can mix it.
The wet bread will form a paste when mixed with the egg yolk. Chop 4 tablespoons of parsley and add it to the bread paste. Mix it in well. Add 1 tablespoon of chopped fresh thyme.
Because it's very strong.
And mix again. Emma's turn.
Pour mélanger le garlic. To mix the garlic with you mix.
When the meat is just browned, add it to the stuffing mixture.
On va tout mélanger.
Stir it up.
Doucement, hein. Avec les deux. Je les mélanger avec les deux. Vas-y.
Use some elbow grease. And
a little bit more.
A little salt.
Yes. Again.
Add 2 good pinches of salt.
Okay.
Out comes our main ingredient.
Voilà la bête.
Don't forget the fresh ground pepper.
You will put some pepper on.
Belle bête.
The stuffing is almost done. Now it's time to prepare the bird. Fresh from the market, fresh from the farm, plucked by hand. All natural, free range, raised on local grains and herbs. This region of France is famous for its succulent poultry and fountain. The pride of Périgord is in the profusion of produce used to season and sauce the birds. When we come back, we'll make the legendary sauce poulette for our poule au pot. Périgord, not far from Bordeaux in western France, is legendary for its profusion of castles and the delicacy of its food. The city of Périgueux guards its traditions dating from Roman times to the Middle Ages. Here, we can still dream of a knight in shining armor. Legend has it that King Henry IV discovered poule au pot here and popularized the recipe by declaring it a national dish. He was considered a man of the people, putting an end to decades of religious war, and then uttering this famous phrase as a promise to his subjects: "I want my people to be able to put a chicken in a pot every Sunday." And so they do. As an homage to my French heritage, my family insists that I try on the dresses. They tell me I look like a princess. I feel more like Cinderella. And here is my Prince Charming.
No, ladies, it's super. It's very, very, very beautiful.
Sometimes you just have to be a good sport on these family visits. I could use a knight to come rescue me right about now. Our bird has been cleaned out, and it's time to finish the
So we
stuffing.
will chop the liver in little pieces, and we will add it in the stuffing without cooking it.
The liver will cook with the stuffing inside the bird. Season the inside of the chicken's cavity generously with sea salt. No, not time for the veggies yet. Always remember that fresh ground pepper. Okay, here comes my least favorite part.
You push with your spoon.
Spoon the stuffing into the bird's cavity, packing it firmly as you go. I think I'll let Hélène do this.
She will cook with the stuffing inside after that.
On va se transformer en couturière.
Now it's time to do some sewing.
You want to sew the bird?
No, I didn't tear the dress. We have to sew the bird closed so the stuffing doesn't escape during cooking. Everybody is busy with the project. A new, improved, lightweight helmet. En garde! I.W. Chevalier Poulet. Sir Chicken. Rub the outside of the chicken with lemon, salt, and pepper. Better hurry up.
Bonjour, Odin.
The rest of the family is arriving.
Bonjour, tout le monde.
And that bird will need to cook for 15 to 20 minutes per pound. A 6-pound chicken will take about 2 hours to cook. We prepare the bouillon the night before. To make this veal stock, boil 2 gallons of water with 2 pounds of veal meat, 3 veal bones, 3 carrots, 2 leeks, 1 onion, 2 bay leaves, and a few sprigs of parsley. Simmer for 3 hours, drain the liquid, chill, and degrease.
And now we are going to prepare the vegetables.
While the chicken simmers, Emma cuts carrots into 2-inch pieces. Cousin Odin spikes an onion with 6 cloves.
This one will off.
We also prepare leeks and zucchini.
Voila.
Merci.
Your choice of vegetables can vary with the seasons.
Oui, bien.
The onion and a bouquet of herbs made from fresh thyme, savory, and parsley goes into the pot.
1 leeks per person.
2 carrots.
Half an hour before the chicken is done, add the vegetables to the pot.
Maman.
The Countess de Maillard, who happens to be my great-grandmother, comes for the final inspection to taste the seasoning. Is this elixir equal to the ambrosias of her childhood? This dress was worn by my granny's own great-grandmother during those long Sunday dinners. Poule au pot is made in every part of France. Each region has its own variation. Every family adds their personal touch.
Super chouette, dis donc.
Oh no, it's my Uncle Bertrand, the Count. I like this look.
Sadie!
Le vieillot.
My relatives like to goof around.
Sadie!
But when it comes to tradition, they insist we do things the classic way. Here in Périgord, they stuff the bird. And in our family, we accompany this dish with a fine sauce, the sauce poulette. To make the sauce, melt 2 tablespoons of butter over low heat. Add 1/4 cup of light cooking oil to prevent the butter from turning black. Then gradually sprinkle in 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, stirring to prevent clumping. Uh-oh, it looks like a conflict of generations is about to take place. Granny argues that the flour should be browned over high heat for better coloring of the sauce. But today, her daughter Elizabeth is the cook. And she wants her sauce to have a creamy tone.
We can add the bouillon.
When the mixture has formed a smooth paste, begin adding the stock from the chicken pot. Be patient, add a little at a time so the sauce will be smooth and lustrous. Add about 4 cups of liquid until the sauce has the consistency of heavy cream. Season with salt and pepper to taste. Here you have it, the sauce poulette. Carve the chicken onto a serving platter alongside the stuffing. Serve with rice. Light the candles, pour the wine, and bon appetit. Our Sunday dinner is extra special, served on Granny's heirloom Limoges china. Now we can all enjoy our Sunday chicken, thanks to the good King Henry.
That's one of my... How do you say that in English? That's one of my favorite. That's my favorite dish. Rice with the sauce poulette.
It's a dish fit for a countess. When we come back, we say our goodbyes to Paris and head home. Our luggage contains a few souvenirs to share with our friends.
Ew, I like it. Oh.
There are over 400 different cheeses made in France. And all so delicious, we had to bring a few tastes home with us to share with our friends.
Some of them are hard and some of them are soft.
These kids are Emma's classmates.
Ooh, hard.
Right.
French cheeses are made not only from cow's milk, but goat and sheep's milk as well.
Pretty much different colors, like different outlines. This one has little blue lines. Yeah, I don't like that one.
No, you don't like that one? That's also
good.
from sheep.
I don't know if they invented the cheese to go with the bread or the baguette to go with the cheese, but you just can't have one without the other.
You tell me which one you want.
You bring out the stinky cheese?
Just the cheese.
Oh, it's squishy. I can't have it. Ew, it smells horrible.
Can you smell it?
Ew, I like it. Oh. It smells like a
How does it smell like?
A fart. It smells like that. It smells
Ew,
bad.
Okay, who wants to try it?
Me. Not me. Not me.
Why do you want to eat something that stinks? Does it
Well,
taste better than it smells?
Try it and it's very nice.
What does it taste like? Does it taste as bad as it stinks?
Oh, thank God, that cheese
It's good?
was gone. I still love this one. She's gonna say, I want more.
I learned never to judge a cheese by its smell.
I like French cheese. I never realized it, but I like it.
Here's a few more dogs. Have you been counting? Why is it that food always seems to taste better when we're in France? Coming home from our travels, there's one dish that we really miss. And you won't believe it, but it's a vegetable. The green beans at our favorite Parisian bistro, Beaufanger, are out of this world. We decided to try to make them ourselves at home. Most people just snap off the ends of the beans, but Emma invented a new special technique with scissors. Here's a simple French recipe for fresh from the garden green beans. For about 1.5 pounds of beans, add a big pinch of that coarse gray sea salt to a large pot of water. Set the pot on high heat to boil. When it's rolling, add the beans.
Do I cover them?
Yes, you do.
Turn down the heat and simmer for 5 minutes. This recipe really is from scratch. In the dirt. We grew these beans ourselves.
Ah! Ew.
Yeah, well.
Ew.
So I'm not much of a gardener. Just trying to help out my little sister, okay? You can find seeds for real French beans called haricots verts in most seed catalogs. Just pop them in the ground and wait. Maybe the soil's different, I don't know, but ours came out a bit fatter than the super fine ones we loved in Paris. Drain the beans in a colander. Then, quickly plunge them into a pot of icy cold water to preserve their bright green color. Once they've cooled, drain them again. Melt 3 or 4 tablespoons of butter in a pan and saute them for 2 to 3 minutes. Add salt and pepper. Then 2 finely chopped shallots and 1 clove of minced garlic. Saute for 2 more minutes, then add 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley. Mix it in, set the table, and serve them quickly.
Come on, guys.
While they're hot.
Would you like me to serve you?
I'll do it.
Now for the final test. How did we do?
I really like them.
They're good, but not as good as the ones in France.
I agree.
Maybe we'll try again next summer. For now, we have lots of great memories and plenty more recipes to practice. You can find them all on our website. And don't forget to join us next time on Our Family, Our Food for another fun-filled food adventure.
Allez, salut, hein. Bonjour chez vous.
Bonjour chez vous. Allez, bonjour chez vous. Salut.